loves to play with fire, and the things he'll do, you can too, if you so desire. To try this at home with Mr. G.
Hello, and welcome back to Do Try This at Home. Do Try This at Home is the show that takes ordinary household items and turns them into something extraordinary. I'm your host, Mr. G, and what are you going to need to do today's little experiment? Well, it's a real easy one, but it proves something that's kind of cool. You're going to need a piece of string. You're going to want to tie a large loop in one end that you can hook over something, and the other end you're going to want to tie to a yardstick near the center of the yardstick so that you've got something that's kind of balanced like that. Now you're also going to need a couple of large balloons, and you want to have those inflated. And you're going to need a skewer or something that is sharp that can puncture one of these balloons. Now, let's start the experiment by asking a simple question. We all know that objects have weight, like this cup of coffee here. The balloons themselves weigh something, otherwise they would just float away, which they're not doing. This yardstick has weight, we have weight. What is weight? Well, weight is the force of gravity. It's gravity pulling down on objects, and objects with greater mass get pulled down at with greater force. And gravity then, we say that object then weighs more. But does the air around us have weight? There's air all around us, as we know, our atmosphere. Does it have weight? Does gravity affect air? Well, we're going to find out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my yardstick that I've got here, tied to this string, and I'm going to hang it from my ceiling fan. And you want the yardstick to, you don't care at this point whether it's completely balanced perfectly or not, but I've notched out each end of the yardstick with a small saw. I've made about a 1-inch notch so that I can take my balloons and I can easily attach them to the end of the yardstick. Now, we can see that this balloon has weight, obviously, because it makes that drop. Now, let's attach, I've still got poison ivy. It's clearing up though. Let's attach this balloon to this side. And then let's get the whole mechanism to balance. Okay, shall we? Okay, we need to move our string a little bit to the right because it's a little heavy over here. The balloon must weigh a little bit more. Getting closer. Okay, there we go. And maybe a little further. The whole mechanism needs to be nice and level and balanced and still, like I've got it here. That's pretty close. Maybe it went a little bit too far. Let's try that. We're getting there. There. When I tried this earlier, that didn't take as long, but sorry about that. But the whole thing is pretty much balanced at this point, as we can see. Now, to prove that air has weight, which I believe that it does, what we need to do is we need to remove the air from one of these two balloons. Therefore, the balloon that still has air in it should cool down, and the one without air should go up because it'll weigh less. So I'm going to take the one that wants to get so close to me here, the green balloon, and I'm going to poke a hole in the thicker rubber near the neck of the balloon here, because if I poke the balloon, boom, rubber could go flying off and it would make the experiment invalid. So I'm going to poke a hole here and let air rush out of this balloon. As you can see, I'm doing now. Now I'm going to kind of give some more pressure to this balloon so that it pushes. Now, there's more air in these balloons than the air around them because it's pressurized by the elasticity of the rubber. So the air inside here is it's under pressure, so we've got a greater volume of air than just all the air that's around it. So now, if I get all the air out of our green balloon, leaving just our yellow balloon, now this whole thing was in balance quite well, as we saw before. And we're going to find out then if the side with the yellow balloon that still has the compressed air in it becomes heavier. And look at this. Wow, the yellow balloon went down while the green balloon went up. It's not a huge difference, but we can see that because this balloon is full of air and it's compressing that air inside of it, the air in there has more weight than anything that's in this balloon, which is right now nothing. We've got the same amount of rubber and it was balanced before, but look, now it is no longer balanced. Air does have weight. I'm Mr. G. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time right here on Do Try This at Home. never seen. It's supposed to work, and it worked. It worked many times in rehearsal. Okay, we're going to have to try this all over again. That's great. Stay. Hello, and welcome back to Do Try This at Home. Today, we're going to forget our lines. Let's try again.